Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we are working on a mod for a video game, Balatro. This is day 2. And this is the game, okay? It's a pretty popular game. You can buy it on Steam. You, get dealt a set of cards. You want to take those cards and create poker hands out of them, right? So we see 2 queens here. We're like, oh, we can play a pair of queens, or that's a poker hand. And you play this thing, and they add the scores of, or they add the hand value to some score. And then you have some multipliers for each hand type, right? So a pair is going to give me a ×2 multiplier on 10 points, right? So when I take these guys, do I have another pair in here? 2 4s, right? What's going to happen here is we have pair of 10. This is multiplied by 2, so you're going to get 20 points. Then you're going to, but you're not actually going to get 20 because you're going to add on these 4 here. So each 4 you play is going to come onto the score. So you're going to have 10 plus 4 is 14, plus another 4 is 18. Right, so it's going to be 18 times 2, but it's not actually 18 times 2 because we have this joker here that says we're going to add 4 more to the multiplier. So it's actually 18 times 6, which is 60 plus 4, so 108. I think this is going to be 108 points, so we can look for that here. I think. 108, yeah. Okay. And so my problem with this game is that I don't want to be doing all that. I don't want to be doing all that mental math. What are we, nerds around here? No, we program, which is not nerd shit, okay? And so, the goal of the game is you're trying to beat this threshold within some number of hands. So you have to do these calculations to try to figure out sometimes you're trying to maximize the number of hands played to upgrade some cards, because these jokers, there's many types of jokers that have varying effects, right? So you're trying to stay under the threshold, or you're trying to get over the threshold as fast as possible. You don't know if you should be playing a full house or a flush. You don't know which one of those is going to give you more points. And so what I want to do, I want to put somewhere in this UI what the real score that I'm gonna get is. Not this lying score. High scored 5 times 1. No, that's a lie. We know that this is going to be 24 times 5, right? And so we should write that down somewhere. And so yesterday we took a little bit of a run at this. We found that if you go into the game and you just look at the binary, inside the binary is a bunch of zip files that hold the actual source code of the game. This is a game written with Lua in a game engine called Love 2D. This game engine basically says give us some Lua, and we'll do all the rendering and shit for you. We'll do the game loop stuff. Just focus on writing the script of your game. And what's very nice about that is that means that the game is shipped as Lua, and that means Lua is a scripting language, so we get source code, which is pretty sick. And they didn't make any attempt to obfuscate that in any way. So you just run bin walk on this binary. It spits out basically the whole project, and we can just go into the source code after we extract and type love dot, and it runs the game, which is pretty sick. Pretty sick. We found yesterday that the code for this game is it's a really good game, and the code is not the product, right? And so when you look at the code, you can tell that the game is the product and the code is not the product. And so the idea of trying to calculate ahead of time these things is not really something that is feasible in its current form. So if we go, sorry, let's go into the right folder here. If we go into, I think it's in car Lua, or game Lua, every frame, evaluate round, I think is where this thing was called. Evaluate round. Here. So this is in state events. So here is, I believe, where we found the source code for hand calculation. No, I lied. Evaluate play. Sorry. Evaluate play. So this guy does basically, when you click on this stuff and you click play hand, evaluate play is the function that seems to get called here. And it seems like score calculation is really heavily integrated with the actual animations and stuff, right? So it's not like the game goes and it says, let's find out what the score is going to be when we do this, and then figure it out. We're just going to can we just slow down the animations so we can kind of talk about it? So it's just going to go okay, so I'm going to like throw these guys up there. I'm going to highlight these things. Then I'm going to add this 4 to the score. Then I'm going to add this 4 to the score. Then I'm going to like add this multiplier. And then I'm going to like bring these guys down. It's all like integrated in one big function. Um, and so I was kind of thinking about it a little bit. We were going to try to maybe like extract some of the logic, but if we consider the fact that like this is not our code base, right? And if we were to try to say one day Balatro version 1.2 comes out, right? And in 1.2 they make a bunch of changes to how certain jokers work and how some calculations are done. It would be nice if we can kind of try to preserve as much of that as we can. So I think like trying to take an approach of like extracting logic and duplicating it or duplicating, both of those are like not very successful strategies, I don't think. What I think is the most successful thing we could do is basically try to leave the code as close to its original state as possible. And then what we can do is we can try to like modify it so that we can get what we want out of it. And that means that in the future, if like the game updates, we can like import the updates and hopefully patch them in nicely to our mod. That's kind of like my hope. So I think looking at this evaluate play function, he does stuff like he checks like, hey, is this hand debuffed? If it's not debuffed, then we can like use the stuff in the hand. And so we're gonna go over each card in the hand and we're gonna like do something with this, right? And like we want to run basically all of this fucking logic and just disable the part that like actually does stuff. I think that's kind of like the first step of what I want to do. Then I think once we can do that, then it makes sense to try to make sure that like we're not pre-evaluating the pseudo-random number generator stuff. So like if there's some jokers that say, you know, you have a chance of getting any multiplier between 0 and 25, we should like be able to like show both ends of the range. But yeah, we'll see. This is kind of like an exercise in working with code that's like not yours, and we'll just kind of see how it goes. So I think let's just try to get moving. All right. So let's see. I was kind of like looking at this a little bit this morning, and I was seeing stuff here. I was seeing stuff like this. So like they have like repetitions here, and they say from red seal. So like the red seal is like an attribute that you can add to a card that will like make it trigger multiple times. So they go like, okay, let's check this card and see if he's going to do repetitions. If so, we add that to the repetition list, I guess, right? Then they check repetitions from like jokers, and then they like, for each repetition, they do actual scoring. So this here is kind of like the actual scoring loop for the hand, I think. I think that there's like a hand of cards and you get scores from that. And then there's like the jokers and you get scores from that. And then there's like maybe planets and you get scores from that. Those are all kind of like different segments. So it looks like this stuff here is all like the hand scoring loop, right? So when I play the game and I click this, I believe everything from when I click play hand until the joker is hit is in this loop, I think. So like this is all play hand. You know, this is like part of play hand. He's calculating the score for this. Then he adds a multiplier. That's no longer play hand, right? Or a hand calculation, I think. Then I think they come down here and they do, oh no, this is hand cards. Right, okay, so this is calculating hand effect. So if one of my cards had like a multiplier on it, this would be done here. Then they actually do the scoring of the stuff in the hand here. Then they calculate like the multipliers from the jokers here. And what I was noticing when I was looking at this is that like they do stuff like, let's see if we can find the part where they're iterating over the cards in your hand here. And okay. So for each repetition, they look, if the repetition is not equal to 1, then they do something with jokers. Huh. Not quite sure. Here, okay, here's the part where they're actually doing like dollars, H malt, X malt. Okay. I want to see if we can like prove to ourselves that like what I was gonna get at here is that it feels like they're like doing actions at the same time as like calculations. That was kind of where I felt like this was going. I think eval card is like extracting information about it. Like from red seal, check for hand doubling. Okay, where do they like add the value of scoring hand. Wait, this looks promising. So, right, okay. I think there are like a few attributes here. So I think let's try to like hit play and grab a screenshot. And like let's try to like annotate what we think each of these things are in the code. So I think this is scoring hand. Scoring hand. I think this is jokers. And this is hand. Right? And so I think what's happening here is like there might be some effects where like there are some jokers that are like, hey, if you have a king in your hand, there's a 1 in 2 probability that we're going to give you $5 type shit like that. So that's probably what this stuff is calculating, this 4 card in hand cards. And so we can see things like they're checking if they have dollars added and stuff. Then they have joker effects, okay, and then they iterate over the scoring hand down here, I think. Let's see where else scoring hand comes into play. Oh, up here as well. Okay, so they go over the scoring hand once at the beginning. Then they go over it again later. What are they doing it down here for? Oh, so this is to destroy cards. This is doing a second pass. So there are these things called glass cards, and they're like after you play them, they might break, but they give you a strong multiplier up front. So it's kind of like the trade off there is you're like, this thing will give me more points, but it will disappear at some point, and I won't be able to play it anymore. Okay, so up here then, this is kind of like the interesting part here, the scoring hand iteration, right? Wherever the fuck this was for each thing in scoring hand. And so what I wanted to say was I believe that like the calculation plus the animation are all in the same loop, and I think we should try to prove that to ourselves, right? So like where do they just like look at the card chips here? Okay, so what I want to know is here they extract all of the effects that go over these guys, and then they like rip through the effects, and they say, hey, I'm going to like add this number of chips to the hand chips, and I'm going to update hand text, and then I'm going to card eval status text. Okay, so this is what I wanted to look at. So if we go to card eval status text as a function in here somewhere, can we like turn off like the labeling that they do? Right? So like here, for example, they throw attention text on this thing. Or they add events here. So this is if extra instant. I don't know if we're instant or not. But like my thought here is that if we just disable this, I don't know why the fuck I just jumped around there. The game should like stop animating the cards when it's scoring them, I think. Right, so we go in here and we play this stuff. Oh, here we go. I don't know why that took so long to start, but so when we play these things now, we don't. Okay, let's turn the animation speed up. Okay, so I don't think that did what I thought it was going to do. I was kind of hoping that this would stop it from doing something. Okay, so what if we do it over here? What if we do it on the delayed path? Just comment all this shit out. I'm hoping to see animations stop, but maybe score still updated. Okay, play. Can we, like, I don't want to go through all this. New run. Play. All right. 1, 2, 3, play. Yeah, so we did see that, like, now when the ace goes up, there's no text shown over here, which is really good. That means that, like, I do understand, at least to some extent, what's happening here. Okay, so that means that, like, this, why is the fucking, when I save, I'm just, like, jumping all over the place. Card status text or something? Card eval status text is where we were. Okay, so it was like something like that. No? Was it not here? It was this. Okay, so my understanding is that, like, this whole function does not affect the actual scoring of the hand. It is only here to, like, visualize those things to the user, right? So if we go back to, where was it? It was in state events.lua, this, like, evaluate play function. In here, if we go back down to where we're, like, scoring hands, so where was that? Scoring hand, I believe, was the thing here. This is a Joker card iteration. Where is it looping over the fucking scoring hand again? God damn it, it's so hard to find anything here. Here, maybe? No, this is the glass card deletion. For each Joker, for scoring hand, here we go. So my thought here is that this card eval status text is just, like, not important, right? So if we just comment this out, oh my god, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. If we comment that out, we should also see this stuff still going. Is the source code actually public? Not really. It's just, like, in the game, so you can just kind of look at it. So if I, like, click this and I play, we should see that yeah, this guy just doesn't do the, like, show text and bounce and shit, but we do still see, like, the hand, or, like, the score added here. So what I think, if our goal here is to extract the calculation of the score without modifying the source code as much as we can, I think that we could replace these functions with other functions that just do nothing, right? So, like, we could pass in update hand text, card eval status text as, like, function pointers, juice card, right? All of these things that do, like, visual shit, we just stub them out. And then this function can live almost as it is, I think, and we can get all, like, the information out at the end that we want, I think, right? All we have to do is make sure that at the end, when it's doing the, like, this, like, mult, it's like editing this mult value, right? And somewhere at probably towards the end of this function, it, like, takes that mult value and, like, applies that to your, like, actual score. Surely. So, like, maybe like, maybe over here, these are all visual things, probably. My assumption here is that these, like, I'm seeing, like, easing and stuff like this. I'm assuming this is kind of like the visual indicator on the left where the score is increasing. Where is this, like, multiplier actually applied, though? Check and set high score. Ooh, maybe it's this. Update hand text now. Check and set high score. This is not in the event manager. Where do they, like, because what we want to do is we want to disable the part of the code that actually applies it as well. So we want to disable the parts that do visual things and the part that applies it. So where the fuck does that go? So here they're still modifying malt. Then down here they're like check and set high score. This feels like it is not, my gut here is not that it is actually changing my score for the round, but I could, they could be misnamed here. Could be. Where else is like hand chips times malt? So these are here, here. Check for unlock seems kind of like maybe the place here. Check for unlock might be doing like, hey, you need 300 points to pass this round, and have we done that? Let's check. Let's try to look for that. No, that doesn't feel like it. I don't think. Someone must change like the game state, right? Someone must be like, I mean, it could also be this. It could be that once this makes it all the way up, the event after the easing of the chips value makes it to some place. Maybe. Maybe it like triggers something. Okay, then what are they doing after this? Calculate the Joker after hand played effects. Sure. So at this point, they're kind of saying we're fucking donezo. So it's gotta be this, right? It's gotta be this. So maybe we should look at the event manager, ref table, ref value. So g.game chips is getting updated. Yeah, that must be what this is. This thing is like a some form of like asynchronous function runner, right? Who's saying like over 0.5 seconds. Yes. Okay, so they're saying we are going to decrease the score of your current hand, and we're going to increase the score of chips at the same time. I think that's what this is saying. Does that line up? Right, if we start a new run, we play, we go in here and we click something. We should see the score should go up here. Maybe here even, maybe to round score. Yeah, okay, so we do see the score on the where that sits here for the hand goes down as the round score goes up. Yes. So that's gotta be what these two things are doing. And then presumably G game chips is probably checked at some point for if it is like above the score threshold here. What does it say when we like finish a hand? Not a lot, huh? There's nothing really to like easily search there. Okay, but I think I'm like fairly confident that we want to like end the function like here or something. Now, what kind of sucks is that like if we want to this like all of this stuff might be using local variables from above. So we have to be careful to like re-extract those things. Yeah. There's event manager stuff here too, which we might have to disable. Okay, so in terms of like things to disable, we know that we want to disable update hand text. Update hand text. We want to disable card eval status text. I think eval card is probably fair game because this doesn't seem like it actually does anything just based off like the names and like looking at the code, but we should probably look at eval card as well. This guy is, yeah, he's just like extracting information from the card. So I think that's chill. So update hand text, card eval status text, ease dollars. Like anything about like any event injection to GE manager, right? Is probably something that we don't want to do. Okay. I saw we saw ease dollars in here too, almost certainly, right? It's possible that like, yeah, let's look at what this says. Function ease dollars. Yeah, this is definitely just like applying money change right fucking now, right? G game dollars is G game dollars plus mod. Yeah, it looks like. All right. Anything else that looks kind of UI in here? Juice card, almost certainly. We want off as well. Ease dollars, update hand text. Okay. So, okay, what about like up here? What's going on up here? So we call like get poker hand info. We set some globals off rip. It's almost like you want like the to ensure somehow that the globals are just like not touched. It would be sick if we could like reassign G in this context. You know? So who calls like evaluate play? Okay, we need to test some Lua. I don't know if I like were to do this, pass in a G here. Does this guy override the global G? I don't know. So can we test that somehow? I think Vim, NeoVim has a Lua interpreter built in that we can just use to run some stuff. Lua and Vim run. I think it's like, actually, no, it's nvim help. L. Yeah, so if we do like test Lua and we say like G equals this, G like A equals B, right? Like B. And then we do like print GA. Like this. So we see B here, right? So now say that we have a function, some function that takes in G. Okay? And then you do like end here, print GA here. Okay? And we call some func with G. Okay, we see B again. Now, what happens if we call some func with A equals C? Okay, that's promising. Promising. It looks like we can kind of we can like override global scope variables with function arguments. That's pretty exciting. Which means, okay, so in this context, what we might want to do is we might want to like, we're thinking about trying to keep the diff small, right? So in my mind, if we do this, evaluate play mod, takes E, and then we do evaluate play mod like this, right? Now we can start doing stuff like take in G here, right? And then we can call this externally in a way where G is like our own thing. And if we really want to get crazy, we can even start doing things like overriding the function names like this. Okay. And so like just as an example, I guess we could do something that's like card eval status text null. Maybe just like, can we just do like null fn? I think in this language, you're allowed to pass in arguments that aren't defined in the prototype. I think. We'll find out pretty quickly. So if we do this, like how much does that like fuck up the game, you know? Okay, let's see. Yeah, I mean we see that the jokers here aren't jumping up either anymore. And then if we pass back in card eval status text proper, play, then we should start seeing shit jump around. Yeah. Okay, that's promising. Definitely promising. So it looks like the approach here to just trying to like do jack shit when we're calculating is like we should do a deep copy of G. That way we can be fairly confident that at least at this function level we're not doing anything that applies to like the game state. Probably. I mean, we're gonna have to be a little bit careful. There's a lot of fucking stuff in here. A lot of stuff. Highlight card looks like another one we should get rid of. Okay, so like what is our test case here? I guess we want to like run this thing twice and try to try to make sure that like nothing changes when we try our best to override. So maybe, yeah, we could just do like we could just play the game with like null function here. And like we need to deep copy G and then pass in something else. So is there like Lua deep copy? I assume that you have to like walk all the tables. Do they have like a module for that in the standard library? Bum, 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 bum. I assume like I could just write this myself. I just want to see if there's like a fucking like standard library thing for it, you know? All right. Well, we'll just write something then. Okay. So let's say like deep copy G. So this is gonna do like new G is equal to a table. And can we like iterate fields in Lua? Surely, right? Surely. Lua iterate table fields. It's like for KV in pairs or something. Yeah, here we go. For, I guess we just want this to be like deep copy a thing. And then we say like ret is a new thing. Return ret at the end. For KV in pairs table, do, and then we say like ret K is equal to deep copy V, right? And then now we just have to have like our exit case. Source, I'm gonna call this, because that thing's purple, which makes me worried about like the you know, that it's a special reserved keyword. And so like, can we do like if Lua check if type is check type of variable? Is that like a thing we can do? Lua check if variable is table. Oh, sure. So probably just like type source, probably. Okay. And then I guess we just run the game. We just look for some like words for him to say. Is this not fucking running? Table. Table. Okay, cool. So we can do like if, is there a switch in this language? Lua does not have, oh my god, DuckDuckGo, don't add a fucking AI assist, please, God, please. Okay, is string comparisons just like equals equals? Lua's equal, okay, cool. So, source type is type source. If source type equals table, do, then, yeah, there we go. Elif, else if. How do you do Lua else if? Then, else if. Okay, wait, if statement? Else if one word. Ah, okay. Okay, so we'll just throw like a little else in here, and is there like assert? Yeah. Or like throw. Error. So this should be like unknown type, right? Unhandled type. Unhandled type, and then you can do string concatenation with dots, I think. Okay. And then we can just start like, you know, picking this apart. Bump. All right. Interesting. Oh, because we're not recursing anymore. So we're gonna get the table up front, which is fine, and then we're not actually doing the shit. Okay. Let's go again. Bump. Okay, number. Okay. So else if source type is equal to number, then do, okay, so this ret is only for dictionaries. Do return ret end or something? Is that how you're supposed to do this in this language for early returns? And then this is just do return source. There's nothing to worry about. If we're deep copying a number, the number is already just like a number. We don't have to fucking worry about it, I think. Who fucking knows, man? All right. User data? The fuck is that? Oh, cool. So this is like a pointer to something. Game Lua. Can we like write the field name? In here, we'll just do like print, check like copying value key. Bump, 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 bump. All right, all right, all right. It's different this time. String. Sure, so strings are also easy. Or source type is equal to string. All right. I don't know why it was different that time, but we're not going to worry too much about it. Bump, 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 bump. It would be nice to speed up this test loop, huh? Function. Discard cards from highlighted. Uh-huh. So presumably, we just want to make every single function a null function? Because these are going to start using like global values again. So calling this deep copy is a bad term. This is going to be like, you know, like disabled G. Sure, I don't know, man. We're flying by the seat of our pants here. Else if source type is function, then return null function. I don't know, man. I don't know. The good thing crash report is set to off, otherwise you'd be spamming the dev and they would be really confused. What the fuck is null function? Oh geez, I didn't even consider that. How do I geez, yeah, okay, good thing, yeah, you're right. It did say that in the in the window, which is sick. Thank God, you're right. Alright. Unhandled type user data. Here we go. Copying value skew. Oh, interesting. I see. So in the context of shaders, this kind of makes sense that like I don't think that we really need to worry too much about that. I think we can maybe assume that like user data is not like all of the game logic hopefully is implemented in Lua, so like modifying like, you know, stuff that's given to us by the Love Engine is like hopefully okay. But, you know, play, new run, play. Should I opt into crash reports? Do ... is just like ... It's scope boundary, by the way. Yeah, but I remember yesterday that we couldn't we couldn't return early. So that's why I was doing this do return end, because like that's what somewhere said you have to do if you're returning from an if. If you do this, it wasn't happy. But now it looks like it is happy, so I don't really know what the difference was between then and now. So I don't fucking know, man. I don't know. This is a stupid way to do this, by the way. Can we do like uh like yeah, can we look up like early return? Lua early return do. This is what we were hitting, right? We weren't allowed to return, but we were allowed to do return end. But maybe this is only in the middle of a block? Yeah, so this is why I'm confused, because like surely we're in a block here, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay, can we just call this like shallow source types is equal to, what is it? Like this is an array in this language? Like arrays are just tuples? I think early returns work unless they make the general return at the end of the scope impossible. Oh. That's confusing. String, user data, boolean. And then can we do like is shallow? Yeah, well, we can do something like this. For, was it I equals 1 to length of shallow source types do end? I think it's this how you do it. If shallow source types I is equal to source type, then end, like return true. Yeah, it does seem like that's working, huh? Else if is shallow source type, then. All right, does that work? Play, neuron, play. All right. Nice. Copying value container, and he's just like stack overflowing. That does look a lot like a Stack Overflow. Is there like self-reference in this motherfucker? Uh, seems like it, huh? Seems likely, which means that this like whole concept is just fucked. We can't, it seems like doing a deep copy this way is not the way. I think GUIT table is self-referential. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So I guess we can be a little bit more selective here and only do the G elements that we care about. Right, it looks like we could maybe create our own null event manager. Which I think would make it so that this stuff never gets evaluated, so we wouldn't have to stub any of this out, I don't think. I don't think. I could be wrong there. And we need, I saw g.hand. G jokers. G game. So we saw G E manager, jokers, and game. We could just try doing those like, you know, specific fields, right? Okay, let's try that. Let's try that. So we have like, I guess we'll split out this part that's like the actual deep copy part. You know, like G copy, we'll call it, because this is kind of specific to our thing. And then at the top level, we just kind of like whitelist the fields that we care about. Right? So we go like, you know, like interesting fields to copy. I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. Don't fucking ask me. Game and jokers, and then we go like for I equals 1 to fields to copy, length do, and this does like red fields to copy I is equal to a G copy of G fields to copy I. Okay. Then we're missing the event manager, but I don't want to deal with that yet. So let's just see what happens if we do this. Bump, 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 bump. Bump, 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 bump. All right. Collides with point. Okay. Can we just. Ooh. How far back? I guess we can like look for love dot. Nice. So this is in blind. So it looks like we can't just like blindly copy everything. Which makes sense. Which makes sense. We were maybe a little bit too excited there. Oh, this is so much work. G game probably has UI elements in it as well. That wouldn't shock me. Would not shock me. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. Is this like, am I crazy? I feel like this is the right approach, right? Like, otherwise we need some way to like switch off all of this type of behavior. Which is like another option, I guess. I guess like if we added a bunch of like if false in here, like we could pass in a boolean that's like, do we want to do fucking everything? But it just like it feels like there's a higher chance of mistake that way. Where like we accidentally let something leak. You know? This feels like clean to me. Yeah, okay. I'm down to keep going down this path for a little bit. And then we can sunk cost fallacy and keep going down this path forever and ever. So what we could do is we could kind of do like this. right? Where we have like, you know, nested tables here. For j equals 1 to field number in like table stack is fields to copy I. Okay, I don't know, man. So we kind of do this. So for each field here, we say like table, like, you know, desk table is equal to ret. Then we do like desk table is equal to desk table, you know, table stack, table name, I guess, is like the table stack at j. And then like, can you check if this thing exists? Check field exists in Lua table. Oh, you just like check if it's nil. Sure. So if desk table, table name, you could try blacklisting instead of whitelisting. Yeah, true. True. But I don't have you know, I don't really know enough about what's going on in this code base to feel confident in that approach. I don't think. So here we say desk table name is equal to a new table, and then we say desk table is equal to desk table name. And then we're like at the fucking bottom of the stack. Right? We've gone through this whole thing, and so now we should just be able to do like desk table at table stack number, like the last element in table stack. This thing is G copy. I guess we need to keep track of the source table as well. I think that's right. That kind of sounds right. And then can we like just start with like only doing jokers for a second? Or like something simple. What do we think is in game.hands? Well, I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll find out. Boom, boom. All right, we need to like crank up animation speed. There we go. Great. So we can't even do this. This is like the same shit. Same shit. All right. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so create it on pause. Let's kind of see what that is. This is a thing on card. So cards have parents, I guess. Yeah, and then within, if the parent, we set the parent of the card to our card area, and the card area has a list of cards in it. So this again just does not really fucking work. Black. Black. All right, so this approach is fucked. We can't do this. So we're gonna say at like some point we started looking at like try injecting like game copy, And we have found that this is like not a feasible approach, right? There's just no way that we're gonna get this sane. So not feasible. Okay, so I think that pushes us towards just like going like line by line almost and trying to just like disable things. So I wonder if we can like, because it just feels, I guess we should leave these functions in just in case we want to go back to this approach, but I doubt it. I'm still kind of down. Nah, yeah, I guess this now just becomes like allow effects, right? And like all of this stuff seems like it should be able to get rid of, except like it depends on how like is played this round. Like how is scoring hand calculated? Like the scoring hand is just g.play.cards. Sure. And then like this is going to presumably like when we look at like the rest of the hand, I assume that those like it's going to remove those from the global game state somehow, right? Right? It must. It must. Highlights all the cards used in scoring, plays sound, indicating highlight. Okay. Then after some amount of time, I can't tell what the fuck this is doing, but I don't think that it's modifying game state in any way. If our hand is not debuffed, then he starts just like evaluating stuff. Modify hand. Oh, this is based off the blind. So this is kind of like the boss guy might be like, uh-oh, I can't, like, you're not allowed to play that hand. So that's probably, or like, the hand is going to be like, you're going to like subtract a level from it or something. I bet you that's what this is. So where, there was somewhere in here where it's like, calculate the hand effects, right? Oh, not the hand effect. There's like stuff where we have like stuff in G hand cards, right? This is what I'm worried about. Is that like this, I assume, is like the stuff left in my hand after. And so at this point, G hand must have been modified. Right? It has to have been. But it doesn't look like it? Do they check if it's like, do they de-duplicate from the scoring hand somehow? What the fuck? Oh, maybe it's this? So they say like, we have G hand. Hmm. Can we print something about this guy? Does he have like some sort of like name or something that we can like extract here? Rank. I just want to see like if I understand what this is doing correctly. Because if that is reasonable, if this like tells us the stuff that's left in the hand, that means that we're fucked, and we can't like we can't do this function without modifying the global state. Maybe, right? It just seems kind of like possible. Did we leave evaluate play mod in the right state here? So now this is just, like true. For now. For now. Dun dun bump bump. Bump 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 bump. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, that doesn't sound right. Okay, so we're gonna try to leave 10 and up in here. So we said, like, yeah, we do see 3 things in here. Let's try to gain a little bit more intuition. So I play 1 thing. Oh, wait. I'm kind of seeing nothing, which is kind of surprising. How is that possible? Oh, are we in a blind? Is that why? New game? New game. New game. Bump bump bump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Okay. Okay, so that's a clue here. So it does look like, I mean, rank here must not be the must not be like the value of the card, but like the rank of the card in terms of like how it's sorted in my hand, I guess, is probably what this is. I mean, it has to be, right? Because it's not, but it does seem like the hand cards are in fact reduced. Like, this has been modified, right? Because we're seeing that it's smaller if we use more cards. So, like, who the fuck? Who the fuck removes the cards from the hand? Modify hand, maybe? Maybe? Seems unlikely. Can we just print G game, like, G game, what is it? The G hand cards, Len? Like here. And then also right before where we were logging before. So this is like num cards 2. This is num cards up here. What do you think the chances are that we like ever get this right? It seems kind of unlikely now that like this idea is like something that I will finish. Okay. So we play 3. So there should be 1, 2. There's like 8 things total. 25? $23? Oh, I'm a dumbass. The 2 is what that was part of the log. Okay. So that makes it sound like by the first log here, we have removed already from the hand, it feels like, right? It's like 8. Yeah, it's already 3 here. Okay. So it's somewhere before this. It could, I guess, be that play.cards and that g.hand have like already like sorted themselves out. Get poker hand info. We can look in there. Okay. It could be that I was wrong about what scoring hand is here too. Looks kind of like these hands are like, oh, evaluate poker hands? Maybe? So they probably check like in order. They're like, this could be many types of hands. Which one is it? And then do they inject the cards that we have in here as part of it? It must, right? Yeah. Yeah, so they start out with these things as dictionaries, and then they like feed in probably each of the hands for like, so they like say like, okay, we have like things that could be part of a, like 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind, 5 of a kind, things that could be part of a flush, and then at the end they like extract the relevant pieces of those as part of the scoring hand. Okay, that makes sense. We're like really glossing over details. We're just kind of guessing, but sure. So get poker hand info. Is called here with G play cards. So yeah, I think the assumption here is that at like off rip here, the hand is already fixed, which is good. That makes my life a lot less scary. Right? So if we say like G play cards here, non-played cards, and left in hand. We should see that that's already kind of ready to go. I guess. Yeah, so yeah, non-played cards 3, left in hand 5. Okay, okay. So that makes me a lot less concerned. So that means that the hand is probably not modified here. All right. So that kind of sounds like. Can we just start going like. I don't know, man. Let's just start slapping this shit with some if allow effects. Oh, but like if we change indentation level, that's gonna fuck up merges in the future if we ever get them. Which means that like we should actually be like leaving this stuff as is. Which is gross. Which is also gonna be merge hell. Is there a way to do this where if they change it in the future, it's gonna come in cleanly and not suck? Hmm. Would deep copy from here work on G? I assume not, because it had like lots of like self references in there. Hmm. All levels. Yeah, I think that we were probably doing something along these lines. And we were just getting fucked because we were like recursing forever. By the way, you're on 1.0.1n. There's a newer version 1.1.0 to update, so you can test merges as soon as you want to. Oh, really? I'm on 1.010. I see an O up here. Um, Oh, second version that works with the cursive tables. Creating a table of tables that have been copied. Yeah, that probably would work, huh? We could try it. Because that approach does seem like nicer in terms of like merging. Right? The idea that like we just have a thing, we don't let it go, but yeah. So what's their trick here? They basically just stash if they've already copied a table or not. Sure. So that was like we were trying to pass in G here. Here we pass in like deep, like disabled G. Then this guy doesn't do the whitelisting shit anymore. He just kind of says like copies here. Then we do like copies is this guy. G, then we do like return G, copy G, and this guy. I think. Then in here, we say like, for each key, how are they like, copies equals copies of this. Copies equals copies of orig. Then they stash this. Okay, can we just do this instead? Let's just do this instead. Fuck it. You know, if it's good enough for them, it might be good enough for me, baby. It might be. Okay, that's kind of a good sign. So we're throwing this stuff up there, and then he's saying not allowed. That's really promising. Really promising. It looks like the like application of G is not working anymore, or a lot of stuff that like was supposed to happen to G is not working anymore. So that's actually really promising. Good eye. Good eye. You just saved me from some hell. Okay, so let's go back to the idea of trying to, so for a bit there, we tried probably from like 5940 onwards, we tried like, what about a bool param? Then we were like, nah, wait, better deep copy. Okay, so we're back here. Okay. So now we can go back to, I guess we just pass in the functions that we wanted to disable as well, which was update hand text, card eval status text, ease dollars, juice card. And here we're literally just like null function, null function, null function, null function. I think that we actually want like fake G here. Okay. And then like nothing should happen. What was the issue with indentation messing with merge attempts? I'm not familiar. It's just like the merge tools are likely to be like not understand whitespace because every merge tool is like fucking stupid. And so like if they start like changing stuff and I indent things to get them into an if, you know, they'll get mad. Oh, this is looking promising. This is looking promising. So now I guess the question is how do we extract the like score out of this thing? We could look at the event manager. They're going to push some events to us, and we know that we're looking for something that changes our chips. Current hand, chip total. Current hand chip total sounds promising. This. So this is probably it. This also we probably want to disable. Actually. What does check for unlock do? Yeah, okay, we need to disable those as well. Check and set high score check for unlock. Okay. Both of those need to be disabled as well. So we throw null functions on all of these. And then we want to look at the event manager, I guess. And try to print out what we got. Like, e manager is equal to something somewhere. Event manager is an event. Okay. So presumably, like when they call add event, this is on some queue. Okay. So this is like chip, hand chips times mult here. So they're throwing this on base queue. Okay, so we're looking at like base queue. We're looking for something that looks like this. So, oh, fuck me. Oh no, wait, this just says update hand text. So this is not the one. It's gotta be current hand, like ease to 0 sounds a lot like it. Where is this set? Chip total. Unless, I guess update hand text might be also applying things to G. That would be kind of annoying. Oh, it is, huh? That is a little bit annoying. A little bit annoying. So we need to disable this as well, I guess, huh? But we can replace this. Oh, we already are. But we could now replace update hand text with something that we can like extract information out of instead of a null function. Right? Because like update hand text with the parameter of something. Except that this is like nested in some like event thing. We could use check and set high score. Overload this. That's way easier. Yeah. We could use check. Are you trying to make it run the calculation and drop game processing events or some manual calculation? I guess kind of like both eventually. Eventually we want to modify this so that we can extract information about like the minimum and maximum values given randomness. But step one is just try to get the hand value without actually doing it. That's step one. Then we can figure out how to like find minimum and maximum ranges. But I'm just trying to see like what's like the minimal amount of work we need to like do this calculation, you know? Okay. Check and set high score seems like we could abuse this. Where does this go? Sure. Yeah, I'm down to abuse this for now. So it's hand. We're looking for hand in there. So when we call this guy, we're trying to say like log score, I guess. And can we go like hand val? And like if hand equals hand, then like calculated score is equal to something. And then can we just run this like 10 times? Or something? And just see what that looks like? Maybe that does something, Zane. It could. Okay. So we go in here and okay, so let's say that we play 2 7s, right? So that should be 10 plus 14, 24 times 2, but plus this 4, so times 6, 24 times 6, 144. That's what we should get out of this. And we should see that that does not apply to the round score, but we do see it logged there 5 times. Instead, we see 20, 20, 20, 20. Fuck. So that makes it feel like all of the like Joker like all of the modifiers feel like they're not happening now. You know, it does kind of feel that way. Which is interesting. So I guess we could try. Okay. What if we unoverride everything? Juice card, log score, and check for unlock. Let's see if that does something. How's progress on the mod? It's not looking good, dude. It's not looking good. But we will see. We will see. We're trying right now to just like run the score calculation stuff without applying game state. So why is just nothing happening here at all? Because they go through the event manager, probably, right? Right? Probably. So, because we're using fake G, some of the events that like do score calculation or something just aren't running. Right? If we put regular G back in here, does it go back to working? No, we've just like fucked the that there's some like weird fucking delay happening. Oh, the delay is all of the guys in advance. But that looked more promising. We did get a 144 out of there. So here we place 5. 5 times, or sorry, 3. So 8 times 8, 9, 60, 72? 72. So we do see a 72 here, like, immediately. You know what? That delay function is probably pushing something onto the event queue. So this thing is calculating immediately, but the delays are getting onto the event manager. And then it feels also like the event manager is not being like successfully overridden with the fake global. Hand wavy, it feels like the fact that we're running this 5 times is like disabling. It feels like it's those delays are happening. Oh, of course they are, because those delays are pushing to the real G, not the fake G, because the real G is everywhere, and we have to be like very careful about that. Every function that this thing calls, we need to make sure that either we are overriding it or we are passing in our fake G. Okay, sure. So like delay is just on the list of things that we like throw in here. And so it looks to me. So I guess like the question is why when we use, well, okay. I was going to say, why are we getting the wrong number? We don't know like which of these parameters is making it work. So can we throw in fake G here and see if we still get the right number if we pass in all the other things correctly? That's kind of interesting to look at. No. So that's giving me a bunch of 5s. So it does look like this guy needs the real G in some way, shape, or form. And why? When's the Balatro mod that gives you a shock if you don't play the best hand? I guess that would be good for content. It makes it seem like the multiplier from Jokers is just like fucking not happening. Right? Like, it feels like we get into like this stuff. What's going on here? For each thing in scoring hand? No, not here. For each Joker is where we want to go. Joker effects down here. So what's happening here? So if we have this thing, we modify the multiplier. This is addition effects though, which is like if I'm like a holographic or something, which is not the actual Joker. This is probably the actual Joker stuff here. So if effects Joker is mult mod, then mult is mod mult. Like this feels like it's just not happening if we have fake G. So first, I guess let's make sure that if we comment this out, that this does have the effect that I expect. And I expect that this line is applying the multipliers for the jokers. So if we go back to the state where it's supposed to work, we pass in the real parameters, and we let them run. We're hoping to see that the multipliers from the jokers are not applied. That's what we're hoping to see. So I go here, we start the game, and we should see here like a score of 7 come out, which we do. Okay, so that's a really good sign. That means that we understand what this line does, right? And so now we can start looking at like Joker time, baby. Right? We can just start like poking and prodding and seeing why it's not behaving the way we expect. We should expect now that we don't see that log for the first 4 attempts, and we do see it for the 5th one where we pass in the real parameters. Right? So we should see Joker time, baby once, which we do. Right? So that all makes sense. So then the question becomes is why the fuck aren't we getting down here? Number of jokers, right? Let's see what's going on here. Bump, 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 bump. So interestingly, we should go into this loop for all of them. That's interesting. That's super interesting. Maybe eval card. Can we look at like effects? Number of effects. Bump, 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 bump. What game is that? Bump, 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 bump. Something went wrong. Okay. That's interesting. What if we just print effects jokers? This is a good clue. Wii menu music? Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. That's so funny. Why is that in my head? I think I watched a YouTube video about Wii bowling the other day, and so now it's just in there. That's pretty funny. Or from memes, yeah, that's also a possibility. Okay, so yeah, it looks like the effects, if we don't pass in the real G, are not applied. So we need to look at the implementation of eval card. Fuck! No! So it means eval card also needs a fake G, or yeah, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have this guy take in G and say like G override, and we'll say G equals local G equals G override, or else G, or G. Okay. Then we replace eval card with one that passes in our fake G automatically, which should preserve the diff. So we'll say like function like eval card override. Okay, this like could go somewhere. Eval card A, B, and fake G. Oh yeah, tell me that's not gonna be sick. Sorry, what is G? It's like kind of like the global game state. Like the whole game lives in G. And they're just using that shit left, right, and center. So now that we're having the opposite effect, I think it's actually kind of working now. So now I hit play. We should see 8 times 5, 6, 7, 8 times 4, 32. We're seeing something just like totally fucked. Oh, because here we're not supposed to pass in the override. Okay. So let's try that again. So now everyone's given us nil back, which isn't really good. We should be seeing some sort of effects come out. Yeah, okay. So not good. Not good. We're liars. Okay, so that didn't solve our problem, actually. Interesting. I thought that would have done it, but maybe there's just kind of more nested G going on in here. How is ret ever nil? Because here... like, it should at least be a table, right? Right? Oh, effects.jokers is not set. Sure. So ret is set, but ret.jokers is not. So let's look here. So jokers, if context area is gplay, let's start there. Print, we sure are play. Let's see what happens if we do that. Play. Play, play. Oi, oi. All right. Okay, so that's good. All of these guys are now correctly identifying that they are in the play mode. And so that means that calculate joker must be failing right here. Because of fucking course, calculate joker just has its own G in here. But why is that a problem? Because we've made like one global copy of this guy, like one copy here, which should be fine. When does this like return nil? Self debuff. There's a lot of situations where this guy could return nil. Okay, so let's just do the stupid thing first. And we'll give this guy the same treatment. Calculate joker, wherever the fuck that was. Where we have the ability to override him if we want. But we don't have to, right? You sure have the choice. G override. So like if, so we'll say local G is equal to G override or G. Okay. And let's just see if we pass in our G override on that eval card function. Wherever the fuck this was. If that helps us at all. Right? Let's just see. We'll just see. You could try something nasty, like back up the old G, then copy it, then run the function with the overrides and resign. Yeah, that's probably better, huh? Better as in less invasive. I think you're right. But let's just see at the very least if this does what I wanted. Okay, so now, blump, blump. Now they're all calculating this correctly. Yeah, so I do kind of like your idea. That seems like the most, like, quite, like it would be quite reliable And then all we have to do is like disable UI stuff. And if we fuck that up a little bit, it's not the end of the world. I think that makes sense. Oh, when I saved, it did all sorts of white space cleanup. That's fucking annoying. Okay, so I'm kind of down to look at doing it that way. So we're gonna go undo these G overrides shit. So kind of take this out of the way. Then our eval card override, this goes away, and we just say like G equals fake G, and then we might have to do like some sort of like exception handling, question mark. Not really sure. It sounds like everything just kind of bubbles its way up anyways. G backup is G, and then we do evaluate play mod. We don't do eval card override, and we also don't do fake G anymore. So this G goes away. Eval card here goes away. Cool. And then we do this like 4 times and then do the real one. So okay, like this. Yeah. And so what are we hoping to see here? After we do this, we do G equals G backup. And we're hoping to see the game work normally, right? But we get to see the score a few times in advance. Doesn't seem crazy. All right. So we run, this is going to give us 6 plus 5, 11 times 5, 55 is what we're trying to see here. So we do see 55 things added, and we do see 55s in here a bunch of times in advance, which is pretty sick. Pretty sick. And that is not that invasive. That is not that invasive, and I don't think is having like very many negative effects. Anything that's head off, we're gonna. I would probably have to look through this a little bit closer, but it feels fine, right? Like just skimming through this stuff, it looks like the vast majority of like this code is doing, you know, kind of like the same shit. Like it's either pushing onto the event manager, calculating card status. This one probably needs to go away as well, right? But like we just need to make sure that we disable all of the UI functions. But otherwise, it's looking pretty good. Okay. So then there's like the question of what if we give ourselves a joker that has some like randomness associated with it, right? Which exists in here. Let's go try to find it. I think UI is under G as well, so overrides could be removed. Yeah, I guess if they all go through the event manager, that's like a possibility. So where is this guy? Misprint. So can we give ourselves a misprint joker off rip? And initially, I was going to say it would be nice if we could like prevent the like PRNG. So like what happens on some things is like they roll a die, right? And they say like there's gonna be some range of options that could happen, right? In order like 1 in 5 chance of a ×3 multiplier or something, right? And I was gonna say it would be nice if we could get like the minimum and maximum values of that, but looking at how this is like implemented, I think that would be hard. But what we could do is we could just run the fucking function 50 times and then like say this is like a reasonable expectation of the range of values. And that would be easy. That would be easy for sure. So You can enable debugging by setting release mode equals false in Confluent and then spawn any Joker from any collection. And then by hovering over it and pressing 3 on the keyboard. Dude, why do you know that? I guess you've just done this before. That's kind of sick. That's kind of nicer than what I was doing before, which was I was just hacking them in on run init. So I guess what I go in here and I do love dot. I've been implementing my own mod for around a month, implementing keyboard controls. Ah, nice. Nice. So you're saying that I can just go in here and I can go into the Joker's shit and I can like find misprint and press 3. Oh, hell yeah. Wait, that's kind of sick. That's sick. Thank you. That's huge. Right, so now we see some options. We got 162. What fucking blows here is I think that we accidentally reset the state of the PRNG at the same time, which is actually kind of fucking sick. That kind of bangs because that's what I would want to do. I don't want my thing to affect the outcome at all, but I do want to like hide that from like I don't want to know exactly what will happen. So we just know that like the thing that will happen will be contained in the range of things that we search, and if we just have to run enough times to make sure that like that range is somewhat sane, like it's not like too narrow. Yeah. So let's do like for I equals 1 to you know 1,000, right? I bet you this stuff runs pretty quick. We do evaluate play mod. We do this, right? We do our overridden function. And then here we throw the calculated score into a list. So this is going to be calculated scores, plural. And I guess we don't actually have to do that. We just have to store min and max, right? So like inf. What like how do we nil, I guess is the way to do this. Then here we say like if calculated scores 0, I guess we can just do like if the whole thing is nil. If not calculated scores, else we then set them into max. Otherwise we say like calculated scores is equal to val. Yeah. Yep. Then here it's like I don't know if there's like a max lua min max functions. Do those exist somewhere? Max math.max. Sure. So I can just do like math.min val calculated score 0 1 with a max. And then now we can print score range is, you know, calculated score 0 to calculated scores 1. Blaze it, sure, fuck it. Fuck. 590. True. I don't know why I put that fucking number sign there. Okay, so we do a new run. We go into collection and we enable this Joker. And then maybe we enable him like 5 times. Right, so we got like a bunch of them. And then we hit play. Attempt to index a nil value. I'm a dumbass. These things do need S's on them. If you're gonna be like that. Bump, 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 bump. I hate how shit just gets like stuck in your brain. Alright. Play. Something went wrong. Min, number expected got nil. How is that possible? Am I oh. Fucking Lua. Fucking Lua and it's one indexed fucking arrays. Little bitch. Oh, which means that the print at the bottom is gonna be wrong too. This fucking fuck. Play. New run. Play. Collection. Jokers. Joker, 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 Joker. Boom. Okay. Let's see it. Uh, 105 to 623, and we got 339. And then, what did we actually play there? Like, is our like chances so low that like if all of these guys give 0, that like never fucking happens? That's like a possibility, but maybe that's also not that bad. So we put it in 2 here. So we should get 2, 7 plus 4. So 7 times 5 is 35. And then if all of these guys roll 0, which is like really low probability, we would get 35. But we're going to get something over 35. 105 to 623. I'll take it. That seems kind of reasonable to me. Oh, fuck. We should probably reset G in between every single version of this, right? We should do fake G on every iteration of this loop. No, because that resets the PRNG. I guess it's fine. It does kind of like change game state. Right, like what if they like add jokers and stuff? So we kind of want to like preserve the PRNG across runs. So here we probably want to do like recopy G backup. Yeah, so we'll deep copy G backup again. Right? But we'll keep the PRNG state. Pseudo random. So how the fuck does this shit work? Card Lua calculate Joker, like pseudo random. Does it like modify the seed as we go or something? Like, can we look for misprint here? So he just calls misprint here. Okay. With the range, okay. So if this is a string, pseudo seed here takes a key, which comes from G-game pseudo random. So we just preserve G-game pseudo random across runs. G-game pseudo random. Yeah, okay. So we kind of put this here. We recopy fake G, but then we set fake G game pseudo random to PRNG again to make sure that we're getting like a good range of values. Hi. Oh, this isn't Zig. Yeah, sorry, Mlug. We'll be back on Zig soon. I have to do an update to 0.14.0. I have a bunch of like custom allocators now, and I have to like upgrade them. So I have a little bit of work to do, but I'm pretty stoked on the 0.14 release. It looks kind of sick, dude. This is pretty interesting, but I don't know what I'm looking at. That's fair. I also don't know what I'm looking at, if that comforts you at all. I'm pretty fucking lost. Okay, can we get rid of all those other prints that we added? Number of jokers, affects jokers, joker time baby. Okay. Once you're on 0.14, you can actually use the self-hosted backend finally. Yeah, it seems like it was gonna be like fucking fast. That's what I've been promised. I'm over LLVM compile times, so I'm excited. Okay. Play. Hard crash. That's cool. Love that. How did we fuck that up so bad? I don't feel like we did anything that stupid. But we can see. Bump, 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 bump. Yeah, okay. That's... I feel like we didn't change that much. Oh, we did change disabled G to deep copy. But I don't think that should matter. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Even wilder of incremental compilation for when you just spam compile. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Okay, so that's back to working. Okay. So then we want to do this on every iteration, but maybe once do a deep copy of G game pseudorandom. Okay. Then G game pseudo random is equal to PRNG here. That feels like nothing is wrong. If this doesn't work, then I don't understand something. And I suppose I just like had something in the wrong order before or something because I wasn't paying that much attention. Okay. So we play this. It could be that this deep copy over and over again is just like railing the game. Kill. Yeah. Terminate it. Please. Please. Holy fuck. What the fuck did I change? Game looking good. Okay, I'm not I'm not making the game. Obviously. Wow, I've never fucked something up this bad. That's crazy. What the fuck did we do? Where was that? Those like state events? So I assume that just doing a deep copy of G on every fucking iteration here is like not good. Okay, like if we do this like 3 times instead of 1,000, like, is he okay with that? P-kill -9 -f love. Dude, I'm not P-killing -9 in my life ever again, dude. That shit's crazy. I already had the PID. It just like wasn't dying, you know? Okay. Yeah, okay, so now this is working, so it's likely that just deep copying G that many times back to back was just like destroying the garbage collector or something. because like who knows what the fuck is in here. We're probably like really overdoing it. We're not running the event manager, which might help us out. Like what I'm worried about is that on multiple successive runs, he might like add new jokers or something, right? Like by running this segment of the code, we might be like, oh, we deleted a joker, let's delete it. And I'm like, no, I don't want that to fucking happen. So like maybe like 1,000 times is too many. Like, is this like noticeably slow if we go like 50 times? Because I just want to make sure that like we're getting a realistic range of values. Because I just don't want to like be like cheating that much. Yeah, so even that is like really slow. We can't be doing that. Bum bum bum. And it's just because we're like copying like the entire state of the entire fucking game. So it's likely that we just maybe need to be a little bit more selective. Maybe we do a deep copy once and then like back it up. Like reset some individual elements intentionally. Maybe. Does eval modify G? It's just like everything modifies G. It's just like who fucking knows? Like it's hard to predict, right? Is the thing. It's just like this global value, like the global game state is just everywhere. So I'm just trying to do my best to like without needing to fully understand everything, just get it out of the way. We could make some guesses. Okay, like where's the part where he does like Joker effects, right? Like say there is some Joker that like spawns a card when something happens. Is that like something Joker debuff effects? Joker effects? So the effects that they can have is like mult mod, chip mod, X mult mod. Addition effects, X mult mod. I mean, skimming this, it doesn't look like there is like a Joker that like gets just here. If this is what I was worried about right here. So like if a Joker has a chance of like dying, or a card has a chance of dying after this round, we have to make sure that we don't like change our card state. Cards destroyed. So like what does this do? We call eval card removed equals cards destroyed, and then for each of these things, we run this thing through the event manager, which might be a saving grace here because we're not running the event manager very intentionally. Does eval card? Like we're looking for removed, right? Get chip, get addition, calculate dollars. Like, I guess some things like their multiplier goes up if a card is destroyed. So that's probably deep in here somewhere. I suspect that we can get more selective about what we deep copy here, right? I bet that like we're copying a bunch of UI state and stuff that we don't need to. The popular hand calculator mod just re-implements all Joker abilities. Boo! I don't want to do it that way. Also, I didn't know that there was already mods that existed. I didn't look. We released a diff for this mod. Will you release this publicly? I don't know. We'll see. Not really sure. Using something like this might make experimenting easier. Lick. I don't know how comfortable I am clicking on something that just says lick in all caps, but Oh, interesting. So you can like just change the code as you're moving. That's kind of cool. Okay. I think that this is like close to what I want. I think that we are at 4:10, which is like just past kind of like target time for the stream. So I think that we've made like good progress. The only problem is now that it's too slow. I suspect that we can fix the slowdown by just looking through the game structure and resetting, like either blacklisting things that we know are slow and we don't need, or whitelisting things that we do need. Probably blacklisting is safer because we don't really understand the code base that well. But cool. I think we call it there for today. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like what you saw, we stream most days at around 12:30 Pacific time to 4 o'clock Pacific time. It is 4 o'clock Pacific time now. So if you're watching live, anywhere between 3.5 hours ago and now is when you should expect to see us. If you like what you saw, there's, you can't watch every day. There's a YouTube link in the description where we kind of like archive the main segment of the stream. There's another stream of the segment, 12:30 to 2. We call it happy hour, where we typically do things that are like just like work that I don't think is like will perform well in the YouTube algorithm or isn't worth like I can't like title and thumbnail. So like sometimes we do like research tasks, like we've been looking into like what it would take to lobotomize an LLM a little bit in those segments. We do like work on our image editor in there, like refactoring, research, stuff like that. So if you want access to that stuff, you have to catch it live on Twitch or sub on Patreon or YouTube or Twitch to get VODs. Consider subbing or supporting on whatever platform makes sense for you. You can also support on GitHub sponsors, but you don't get anything for it. This stream will end someday, but the more money I make, the further away that day comes. So just consider it if it's something that you want to keep around for longer. I think that's it. YouTube, peace out, and Twitch, let's find someone to raid.